Hey, what's up, everybody? Marcos Villegas, Fight Up TV, being joined with Eddie Hearn here in Saudi Arabia. It's been a crazy week, Eddie. I thought the beginning of the week was like pretty nuts with Shakur's fight, but now Joseph Parker, Martin Bakole.
Amazing.
It's a good ass fight.
Brilliant. I mean, listen, if that fight was announced at the start of the campaign, you'd say, what a fight. Yeah. I mean, to be announced 48 hours before the fight, incredible. Big respect to both for accepting the fight. Shout out to His Excellency who made it happen. And brilliant fight.
Who do you think takes it?
Look, I think having seen Bakole and we're like in the last few days, and he's not always the fittest, and obviously he's not in camp. You'd have to favour Joseph Parker, but Bakole's very dangerous, especially early in the fight. And you know, he's one of those guys that might look terribly out of shape, but finds a way to actually have a good engine for 12 rounds. So if he has that engine, he'll be very dangerous. But I do favour Joseph Parker.
Yeah, he has that sneaky like dad bod that can go like cardio, because he's like Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez.
I feel him, yeah.
All right, so with that being said, just kind of like a timeline of how you found out about all these things. Like, when did you become aware?
On the way here.
On the way, really?
Yeah. On the way to the presser, like 2 hours ago. Got the call. I was with Spencer Brown, and obviously he represents Joseph Parker. We're on the phone going through box rec, going through opponents, and then while we were up there, it was all going on. You know, and I think Bakole was in the mix, Bakole was in the mix, loads of other, and I think they've picked the right one. I think it's the best fight that could have been made.
Yeah, you know, like his name wasn't on the short list, but like all of a sudden it came up, Bakole.
Everyone's phoning at this point. Oh, my man will take it, my man will take it. But obviously they'll take it, but what? Like, you can't, that's different out here. But still, like, His Excellency's not just going to just pay whatever you want. Like, if he thinks if the number's right, and don't forget, obviously, the cost of that fight was expensive with Daniel Dubois. So now you've got an incredible fight, probably for much less money as well. But not that he worries about that, but you would as a promoter, you know. So great business all round.
Yeah, how does that work? Can you like come to a number, like say like how Tank goes, I want 4 Ferraris. Obviously you can't like demand that, but can you be like, I think I want like, you know, this ballpark amount, and is it like okay, or is it?
But whatever would, you know, in that situation, you would speak to the manager, and you would say, how much do you want? And he would go, well, what's the offer? And you go, tell me the number. What do you want? And I'll take it to His Excellency and see. Well, how much do you think we can get? You know, and it's the first one that goes, I don't know, 2 million, 3 million. And then you know, same with Padley. Like, when you, sometimes you deal with a good manager and a smart manager. And I said to like Josh Padley's manager, listen, you're going to make a lot of money here. Don't blow it by asking for something that will make His Excellency say, oh, don't worry about Padley, let's find someone else. Do you know what I mean? But make it enough money that's going to change your life. You know? And that's when the mix is right.
So speaking of Padley, tell me about that situation now, the scramble to find him.
Yeah, I mean, we had 3 or 4 opponents. The good thing for Padley was he'd already beaten Mark Chamberlain, who was His Excellency's favourite fighter. He'd already boxed on Riyadh season at Wembley, won that fight. He was 12 with the WBC. He was 15-0. And we needed a quick decision, and His Excellency went, go with Padley. And that was it. And we phoned him up and we got the deal done. The thing that was more difficult with that situation was the weight. Obviously, this is a fighter that the board will want to check weigh, so the day after, he had to check weigh in the UK. He had to get an eye test done to make sure that his medicals were in order. And then he had to fly on that day to Saudi. So, yeah, it's all difficult, but that's what we do. And, you know, it was another great save.
How much of a scramble was that for you, Eddie, to find someone for Shakur?
It's a big scramble because this is our first fight with Shakur. And, like, it's not our fault. But at the same time, like, it would just be devastating for him and for us if he didn't fight this Saturday. So you've really got to concentrate. You've got to hustle. You've got to work hard. And you've got to make sure no is not a word in the vocabulary and get it done.
How close was it for it to fall out, Shakur's fight?
Difficult to say. But if we didn't do the right things, he wouldn't be fighting this Saturday.
It sounded like you guys were determined that you will find someone.
We're doing. That's the beauty of working with a major promotional company. I'm not saying Queensberry or Top Rank wouldn't have got it done. Look, they've just got Bakole done. But the top guys get it done.
So then at this point, you know, what's the plan for Shakur going forward? Is it going into the Zepeda fight? Is it keeping him active? Like, what do you guys want to do now?
I mean, for me, the fight is Tank. Right, I don't see. We want the Zepeda fight. He's rematching Tevin Farmer. He's obviously don't want to fight Shakur. the Schofield fights, the Lamont Roach fights. How many of them do you guys really want to see? You want to see them two in together. So get through Saturday night. Let's just make it happen. Tank v Shakur. It's the best fight in boxing. And on we go.
It is, but then, you know, it's, I don't know, is it difficult? You would, historically, when it's different promoters that...
You got His Excellency, if he wants to make that fight, he'll make it happen. So, fingers crossed.
But you also have Tank's demands, too, that he's...
And that's not under my control, but hopefully Tank wants to be in the biggest fights in boxing, and that's the biggest fight to be made in the sport, in my opinion, especially around his weight class.
I know you got to get pulled. Let me just squeeze in one more for you, Eddie. Just the rematch with Beterbiev and Bivol. How much different, how much more better could a Bivol be in this rematch coming up? Tell me, like, how he is coming in and what he can do different.
You're right there, mate. Yeah. He's got to do more. You know, the judges didn't have him winning, I did. But, you know, at the same time, got to close out better, got to throw more punches late on. You know, I think he's going to win the fight.
The same way or even clearer?
Well, it's got to be clearer, because I thought he won last time. But
I meant like close. Is it going to be close again?
Yeah, I think it'll always be close, this level of fight. But, you know, he looks different this time to me, Dimitri, and I believe he'll win the fight.
How so?
In the eyes, in the skin, in the face, just his arm, like everything. Just, you know, felt like last time. Yeah, to be honest with you, Beterbiev looked good as well. So you're going to see a great fight.
All right, Eddie, thank you. Appreciate it.